is a quote from a music manager that said, once you get your catalog to the point where it starts earning a monthly strategy, everything starts to open up for you. And that's exactly what I'm going to teach you today. How to compound your catalog to 100,000 monthly listeners. This is what I call becoming a 100K hitmaker, where you're becoming and stepping into a full-time artist journey, living off your music, instead of taking money from your 9 to 5 and investing it into your art. This is how you make money from your music career and invest it back into the music. And so this is a presentation that I did a few weeks ago for Pirate Studios, and I'm giving you all the slides that I presented to that group. And so can anyone guess, right, how much Spotify pays you? In 2025, at the point of recording this right now, what is the payout per stream from Spotify, right? And many of us hear these stats flying around, but it's surprising to hear that it's 0.04 pennies per stream on average. Right, depending on what type of subscription you have to Spotify, whether it's a solo account, a family account, or from your mobile phone provider, the payouts are different. Which market your streams are coming from, the payouts are different, but on average, a fraction of a penny. And so by that logic, you can say that 1,000 streams is £4, and 10,000 streams is £40, and 100,000 streams is £400. And 1,000,000 streams, while it sounds crazy, £4,000, but we got to ask ourselves, how much money does it take to get a song to 1,000,000 streams? A lot more than £4,000, I can tell you. And so the maths just ain't mathsing. And it was only after diving into this hundreds and hundreds of times with musicians and observing what their actions were saying that spoke louder than words. I know artists who've given up before their song even gets to 1,000 plays. And they've spent a few £100 on the production of the song and the mixing and mastering, in the content, with the videographer, with the location. They had a stylist, they had a makeup artist, and you begin your campaign in the negative, and then you can't even earn back £4 from your campaign. And so where you're spending money is respectfully not working. And that's why we need to change the system and change the way we behave, to create a repeatable system of content strategy that can be done with just your phone and your home. So out of these, which ones would you choose? For me, the best deal is the £400 from 100,000 streams, because that doesn't have to stem from just one song in your catalog, right? £400 times 12 months of the year is £4,800 streaming revenue. It's not enough to quit your job, but it is enough to finance your entire music career and reinvest it back in. And so I want you to start to visualize the moment where you get regular payouts into your phone from your distribution company. And that's what I call becoming a 100K hitmaker. And so what is the secret, right? Is it PR? Is it radio? Is it playlists? It's none of those. In 2025, it's social media, the organic algorithms coupled with paid media to amplify your performance. And so everything I teach can be found in a free book, which is available in the link in the description below. It's a paperback. I'll pay for the cost of printing the book. All you have to pay for is the shipping to your house. And so what I teach inside this book is a 6-week song release strategy, right? It spans over 2 months, right? So these first 2 weeks, I can count, they don't even contribute to the 6 weeks of a release. This is the preparation work. And in these 2 weeks, you are going to film all of your content and edit all of your content. And so you're going to start your campaign organized. You're not thinking day to day, what shall I post today? What shall I film today, edit today, and upload today? That's the guaranteed method to lead to anxiety, burnout, and just when you need to go hard on your song release, you're going to need to take a break. I've seen it hundreds of times with my clients, and I tell them every single time, use these 2 weeks wisely. They're the most important parts of the campaign. So then you move on, right? Then you have 3 weeks of pre-marketing to build up the hype. And most artists will come to me, 3 weeks is too long. I want to do less. I'll do 2 weeks. I'll do 10 days. I'll do 7 days. And so you can't release a song with no hype. Well, you can. It's just not working for you, is it? In your experience, you're in less than 1,000 plays. Why wouldn't you want to build more hype? And so 3 weeks to build up the hype, and then once it's out, 3 weeks to drive the traffic. And so many of us, as you know, like, be real with yourself. Do you give up on your own song after the first 4 days? Like, you announced it's out, you pushed it once or twice, but you didn't want to look desperate, so you stopped promoting your own record. I would rather give my song constantly to the people who want it, and the people who don't want it, they can unfollow. They're not the type of long-term fans you want anyway. And so if we drill down to that first 3-week period, you start with the announcement that your song even exists. And the rookie mistake so many artists make is they make this into 3 times of asking, right? They're asking people to pre-save. They're asking people to remember the release date. They're asking people to click the link in their bio. I prefer to give, right? And you're sharing and celebrating that this song is coming, and you can't wait to give them more in the future. So I like to break it into 3. Don't announce the release date, and don't announce the pre-save yet. You can do that another day. So then you have these 3 weeks of pre-marketing. What I do for my clients is the first week, we only do the instrumental. And so we start talking about the storytelling within the song. We're really trying to tap into that depth of meaning. We're not going to hammer the chorus. That's the worst thing you can possibly do. Because by the time your 3 weeks are finished, you get to release day, and guess what? People are sick of the song and they don't even want to stream it, and now it's finally out. And so instead, what we do is in week 2 and week 3, my clients focus on verse 1. You know, there often has more storytelling in there. The lyrics are more conceptual. And so you can really use verse 1 to kind of be those 2 weeks of pushing your song. If you want to, you could even make that 3rd week into the pre-chorus. So you can feel the build-up of the song, and right before that super catchy bit comes, the end, the micro content cuts, the reel, the TikTok, it all ends, and people are gripping on their seats. They're on a cliffhanger to want the full chorus. On release day, I make my artists use all the formats of social media. They do a live the night before, they do a photo the morning the song is out, and they reveal the chorus in the evening of release day. A very specific strategy because it ramps up massive hype in one day. And if you don't follow that, if you just do one of those activities, just the release video, you're going to see a very flat line in your campaign. Then you have 3 weeks of post-marketing, and so that is week 4 and week 5, all about the chorus, just hammering that chorus. In week 5, you also might want to drop a visualizer or a music video. I like to do it about 7 to 10 days later than the song release. Number 1, so you don't have split views and half your audience listen to the song and half your audience watch the video. But also it gives you time to talk about the narrative of the video. Because even though that would probably be your best footage, the meaning of the song is probably slightly different than the meaning of your video. And finally, in week 6, I like to move to verse 2 of the song. So you've done part of it in pre-marketing and part of it in post-marketing. Gives your campaign another bit of momentum right near the end. So I hope you're tracking with me so far. That is what a 6-week song release looks like to me and the artists I work with inside the 100K Hitmaker community. But then I take it a step further, right? So when you map out your 21 pieces of content for pre-marketing and 21 pieces of content for post-marketing, I like to get them organized. Like I said, I got OCD, I've got ADHD, I need it in a very clear structure for the artists I work with. So I build them a calendar, I build them a Google Drive, I build them a way that they can get feedback from me every single week and ask, is this video good enough? Are the subtitles in the right place? Is the headline strong enough, convincing enough, persuasive enough? Like, will this content work? And having done this for a decade, I feel like I've got a pretty good understanding of content that performs and doesn't. And I've bookmarked over 300 videos into a database, and I say, these are the top performers. Make content like this. Don't reinvent the wheel and start what you think is good content, what your videographer thinks looks good. Literally find a template. If it's cinematic, if it's funny, if it's fashion based, if it's trend based, find a format that works and replicate that. And one thing that I do in my campaigns when I'm doing the paid ads, and not enough people do this, is I do pre-marketing ads. Not to drive pre-saves, because that's just a waste of money. Like, why would someone who's never heard of your music want to pre-save it? I'd rather go after the fans who have heard of my music. So on those verse 1 reels and on those pre-chorus reels, I like to run ad campaigns that increase the views from your perfect target audience. So UK fans who love R&B, aged 18 to 35, and who like these types of artists, and you put in a big list. And so you're going to run up massive amount of views in your pre-marketing, that you'll feel a real buzz in your community, right? And it needs to be with the right amount of budget. You can't do this on, completely stripped back. You do need a bit of investment to make this work. But then what that does is in your post-marketing, when your song is finally out, you run ads to retarget everyone who is engaged with your reels. And you drive those people to Spotify. And what most artists do and most strategists do is they wait till the song is out and then they turn the ads on. I'm a bit different. I run ads the whole time throughout the campaign as a steady, low percentage, 20% of the budget, just to keep it going. And so here's an example. There's one of my clients called Kelly Lee. She's an incredible dance pop artist. She's had #1s all over the world. You know her voice, right? And typically, KL does about 3,500 to 4,000 views per reel. Steady numbers. And so she brings me on every single campaign. I work with her for about 3-4 years now. And whenever she needs ads run, she'll give me a call. Here's a budget, run the ads. And you can see the numbers speak for themselves, like 70,000 views and 173,000 views and 26,000 views, 66,000 views, 93,000 views on her posts that are ramping up to this song. And so off the back of that, she saw like a lift in radio play from BBC One. She saw an increase in followers and engagement, likes, and she saw this momentum in her community. She grew in confidence and in excitement. She was truly gassed her song was coming out. She had like social clout from her family and her friends at the barbecues and at the hangouts with cousins and relatives. They're like, I've seen your song popping off. It's incredible. I'm so hyped for you. And she saw other artists take notice and slide in her DMs. Because you know how we are as musicians. We don't congratulate publicly. We move in silence and we congratulate people on the sly. And so off the back of this, her song began to lift. And then I ran a YouTube campaign from her. Again, I tripled her subscribers from like 3,000 subscribers to about 10,000 subscribers. I managed to help her hit 200,000 views on the music video from a budget of less than £500. I got her 100 times more interactions than she normally gets, 10 times more comments than she normally gets. And off the back of these campaigns, we didn't run any Spotify marketing. So Instagram and YouTube led to around 50,000 Spotify streams with no conversion ads, no major editorial playlist. This is all from the capacity of speaking to your perfect tribe and then having them consume the content. And so I want this for you guys. From the bottom of my heart, I would love to help you become a 100K hitmaker. And I feel like if you can get one song to just 30,000 streams using this exact method, the 6-week song release strategy, if you can do that yourself, minimum floor is 10 and your ceiling that you're aiming for is 30. If you can do it once, then you can do it 6 times in a year. And when you do it 6 times in a year, this is how you can release your EP. This is how you can release your album. This is how you can really compound your catalog. And so if you look at this in like the easiest way, start in December. And so in December, that time of the year when people are shutting down for Christmas, you ramp up. You start doing your 2 weeks planning and production for your first single of the year. Right? You start your January with a bang and you're releasing your song at the end of January. And so after this release, you then have, 3 weeks of pre-marketing, 3 weeks of post-marketing. In February, you've dropped your first single and you're creating new content for your second single in February. Drop that at the end of March, and then you're using the end of April to create your content for your third single. This is where we are, a few weeks ago when most of my clients were dropping their EP of the year on the day of their third single, they had a focus track, but they also gave away 2 other tracks. So single 1, single 2. On the day of single 3, you get single 4 and song 4 and song 5 on the full EP. That's what so many artists do, is the blueprint of success. So in pre-marketing, you work on the focus song, and in post-marketing, you work on song 4 and song 5 on the project. Simple, right? Here we are in like July at the time of filming this. Most of my artists are working up towards their albums now. So they've had single 4 just drop, and then on single 5 it's going to be a focus single. So 4 songs already out. Single 5 is a focus single, and they will give away 5 other songs to make it a 10-track album. And as soon as the album is out, they're going to take 1 week per song. So week 1 post-release will be about song 6. Week 2, song 7. Week 3, song 8. Week 4, song 9. And week 5, song 10. So in post-marketing, they've created content already about each of the songs. They're not releasing their album having nothing to post, right? One of my favorite rappers in the world, Russ, recently dropped his album. In the first weekend, he made 30 social media posts about the album. That's how you run up the numbers. You don't go, shit, it's out, what am I gonna post? You have it on ice in a drive, Google Drive folder or a Dropbox, ready to post when the time is right. And so here's how this works. I just want to show you the methodology. Of course, I know that your monthly listeners are unique listeners, but it's the thought process that counts. Compounding looks like this. In January, you drop that first single, and as we agreed, you're going to run it up to 30,000 streams as your target. So minimum of 10, but you're aiming for 30. You achieve that in January. In March, you drop another song. So you're going to achieve 30 on that song, but you're also going to try and get a trickle of streams on your first song, because your old music is new music to somebody. So now you're at 40,000 monthly listeners. In May, again, you're going to drop a brand new song. Song B is going to hopefully get another 10,000 streams because your old music is new music to somebody. And that will have a little flood into song A as well. So now you're at 45,000 monthly listeners. Same in July, new song, old song, old song, old song. In September, new song, old song, old song, old song, old song. You see how it begins to compound. And over time, it will take you a hot minute, but one of these records is going to blow. One of them, the content is just going to hit and be aligned with your audience. One of them, the algorithm is going to back you and push your song. And before you know it, there'll be momentum on your side. So I say this again, the game is to become a 100k hitmaker, guys. 100,000 streams is £400 a month. Times that by 12 months in a year, that's £4,800. You can change your life if you commit to a strategy like this. I want you to believe in yourself. I want you to make gunning for it your priority. This next release is going to be your best ever song release. And so when you've released more songs, it's going to get easier. Right? The game is on easy mode when you actually put out more music. You'll be able to do 10 songs with 10,000 streams each, 20 songs with 5,000 streams each, 50 songs with 2,000 streams each, or 100 songs with 1,000 streams each. But some of us guys, we've never even released 10 records. You dropped 3 singles in 3 years. How is that going to achieve your goal? You need to have the output that matches with your goal. Instead of trying to get one song to 250,000 streams, let's do 25 instead. You see the logic of where I'm going with this? Pure common sense. No outlandish things that I know can't be achieved, because I literally achieve it all the time. If you check my stories, I'm always sharing. Took this artist to 100,000 YouTube plays, this artist to 30,000 Spotify streams. I'm celebrating my clients all the time, and I don't know many other marketing coaches that do that. And so the last thing I leave you with is this. I want you to visualize the moment where you can pay for your Facebook ads from your earnings of streaming. I want you to cover the cost of all your music videos for the year without dipping into your salary. The ability to buy yourself a brand new camera or some lights for your studio. to work with better producers that you can afford to pay them, to earn money from your music and then not be month to month trying to pay the rent. And God willing, eventually quit your job and go full time. Like, I want that for you, that you can live as a full-time artist. And so what I want to do is give you everything I've just taught you for free. Like, if you sign up to my community, you're going to get that course, the 6 weeks only strategy. If you want a copy of the book, it's called 0 to 10,000 plays in 60 days. Like I said, I'll cover the cost of printing the book. All you got to do is pay the postage to your house, wherever you live in the world. Everything is available from my website, allabouthelping.co.uk. And if you want to work together, like, I help artists one-to-one and in a group. And so I teach the group every Monday for 60 minutes. You'll always see it on my story. I can run your ads for you. I take 20% off the ad budget. I do Q&A sessions. I do deep dive sessions where we lock in on your strategy for 15-20 minutes of the call. I give all my tools away to the community so they can beta test them before I release them publicly. I can review your editing on your reels. I can review your editing on your ads. I give you discounts from my partners like Symphony and Even and Unheard and Playlist Supply, Booking Agent IO, Radio Promo IO, and so many more. And it'd be an honor to work with you. So if you want to connect, shoot me a DM at social media Ayaz and we can talk about it. It might not be the best fit, but I want to help you wherever you're at. The free community is always there to serve you value until you're ready to become a 100K hitmaker. And so thank you, huge love. Let me know in the comments below if you've got any questions. It's been an honor to teach you in the class today.